Unlike any other noir of its time, Repeat Performance resembles an extended episode of The Twilight Zone. It even has the omniscient narrator, in this case voiced by actor John Ireland. Of course, the legendary TV series didn't appear until 1959, so we'll just have to wonder if Rod Serling had read William O'Farrell's novel when it was published in 1942. If he did, he read something very different than what you just saw. In the book, the character who relives the prior year is acclaimed Broadway star Barney Page, and his bête noire is his drunken shrew of a wife, Sheila. When producer Brian Foy cast Joan Leslie in the film, the roles were reversed. Either he didn't feel Leslie could believably play such a rotten character, or he felt the public didn't want to see the typically adorable actress being such a debauched character. It was a drastic change, going from 37-year-old Sylvia Sidney to 21-year-old Joan Leslie, and it necessitated major changes from the novel, in which Sheila goes blind after binge drinking a bottle of cologne and commits suicide, and Barney ends up killing his lover and co-star Paula Costello. That's the crime he sought for at the start of the novel. The cops chase him into the subway and are about to open fire when into the breach steps Barney's pal, poet William and Mary Williams. As the shots are fired, time folds in on itself and Barney starts to relive the previous year. And yes, I did say William and Mary Williams, because in O'Farrell's novel, the poet is a cross-dresser. William when he's male, Mary when he dresses as a woman. That's what earns him a stint in an asylum, not because he's racked with artistic anxiety. Like I said at the top, keeping the character as he was in the book would have been groundbreaking for a movie in 1947, but impossible, of course, due to the production code. As played by Richard Basehart, the character is still unmistakably gay, at least to modern audiences, and although the picture's reworked climax requires some leaps of logic, it's noticeable that in the book and the film, it's the sensitive gay character who breaks out of the hospital to save the protagonist from the space-time spiral in which they're trapped. Lots to unpack there for hardier souls than me. The producers were so taken with Basehart's work, they added a couple of scenes for him to play with Joan Leslie. It may also have been to bolster the motivation for his timely reappearance at the end. But Eagle Lion thought enough of him to hold the film's world premiere in Basehart's hometown of Zanesville, Ohio, celebrating the Broadway actor's first film role. Basehart was afraid it might be his last, saying later that "My first role was nearly my swan song, as I played a weak, neurotic poet. After that, nobody would cast me in a good romantic part." A worry that was completely unfounded. Basehart had a long and versatile career. In fact, one of his best early roles reunited him with director Alfred Werker. In 1948, he played the villain in Eagle Lion's He Walked by Night, which was an unexpected hit for the studio. It was crime films that essentially kept Eagle Lion afloat in the late 40s. Repeat Performance and several other prestige productions underperformed for the company. By contrast, low-budget crime pictures like T-Men, Raw Deal, Canyon City, He Walked by Night, and Trapped minted money for the studio and helped further the film noir movement in Hollywood. I don't know what you thought of Louis Hayward's performance, but I hope you aren't as critical as the New York Times. Its review of Repeat Performance essentially called him the biggest slice of boiled ham since Charles Lawton. Ouch. No one can fault the supporting cast, however, who all seem to be having a ball. As John Friday, Tom Conway is his usual smooth self, just a notch down on the suave scale from his brother, George Sanders. Virginia Field as Paula fit right in all the bitchy byplay, since in real life she had a reputation for bad-mouthing her co-stars. She allegedly called Loretta Young a phony and conked David O. Selznick with a wine decanter when she thought he was making a pass at her. Stardom may have eluded her as a result, but she maintained a busy career for a few more decades. As Bess, Benet Venuta had the Eve Arden role, a one-woman Greek chorus with all the best lines. And then, of course, there's Natalie Schafer, better known to millions of boomers as Mrs. Thurston J. Howell in Gilligan's Island. She makes Eloise Shaw an amusing send-up of matrons of the arts, funny and not entirely far-fetched. Let us know what you thought of Repeat Performance on the Noir Alley Facebook page and Twitter feed. Next week, we'll be back with another show business noir. This one set a million miles from Broadway in the world of carnivals and spook shows. It's the original Nightmare Alley, which has just been remade by director Guillermo del Toro. Here's a chance to watch both versions back to back and compare. Have a safe and happy New Year's, everybody. See you back here next week, provided that we don't have to live the last year all over again.